Peace, 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 and love. This is yours truly, General Pow Shadowz of the House of Hip Step, back with another good and informative video all about the N-word. And you know, this is the NGR Exposed channel where we discuss, well, primarily things that are in my book, NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective. And I advise everybody to go to Amazon right now and download your copy of the book, or you can get it sent directly to your house in paperback form. So it's available in audiobook, paperback, and Kindle. All right, so get your copy today so you can follow and keep along. You can follow along, I should say, with my videos when I'm reading from the book. And also you can have that knowledge and information so that you can control the narrative of the N-word, because that's what this is all about. It's all about us being able to control the narrative through knowledge. You see, through the knowledge and having all of the details about the N-word, thorough history, everything that we can find about it, we then begin to be able to control the narrative of the N-word ourselves. See, because we know all about it. We become the experts. You understand? And from that point of view, now you can control the narrative. He who masters is in control. You see? So that's what it's all about. It's about getting all the information that we can so we can control the narrative. So this NGR Exposed channel, that's what it's all about. And I just like to remind y'all of that every time. So this particular lesson is from my book, and it could be found on page 80 under Never Ignorant Getting Goals Accomplished. And you see I got my Punisher shirt on today, and you know the reason I got that on is just because I'm punishing the haters mentally. I'm punishing the racists, the racist people mentally, the white supremacists mentally, punishing them, because this is a mental threat. I'm a mental threat. You see what I'm saying? Like this chapter today, this section is all about somebody else who I perceive was a mental threat and may be the reason that they're no longer with us. And that's Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur definitely was a mental threat. And this section is titled Never Ignorant Getting Goals Accomplished. And if you know, you know. So let's go into it. Page 80. Tupac Shakur is revered and seen as one of the greatest rappers ever. There is no doubt his music is legendary. Tupac was educated and very well read. Nearly everything he rhymed about came from an informed perspective. This would be partially due to his mother Afeni raising him in the Black Panther Party as she was a member. I followed his music and been a fan of it since the first time I ever heard him on a record, which was Same Song by Digital Underground. His style attracted me because he was carried on a palanquin draped in Egyptian pharaoh-styled garb. And a palanquin is that table that you see the Egyptians lift their pharaohs up on when they would be carrying. It'd be like usually like maybe 4 guys, and you've seen it depicted in movies, I'm sure. So on that Same Song video by Digital Underground, when Tupac got ready to rap, he came in, he was being carried like an Egyptian, and I just thought that was so dope, the imagery in that music video. And this is important, this is key. In that music video, you could say he was portraying an NGR of ancient KMT or Kemet or Egypt. Do you see what I'm saying? He came in being carried on a palanquin like the NGRs. The NGRs were the monarchs, the rulers, the emperors, the pharaoh essentially. And you would see them being carried on the palanquin. That's the NGR. You see, the NGR was the ruler. The NGR was the king. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. And then they just blanket applied it to all quote unquote black people through the use of the word Niger, Latin or Greek for black. That became the generalization. The Nigers. You understand? Keep following my videos and it'll all come together for you if it hasn't already. Tupac's second album is titled Strictly for My Niggas, N.i.g.g. If you are familiar with his first album, Tupacalypse Now, where in his song Words of Wisdom, he explains what nigga meant to him. He spells nigga N.i.g.g.a and says it is an acronym for never ignorant getting goals accomplished. He goes on to say, brothers and sisters, niggas. When I say niggas, it is not the nigga we have grown to fear. It is not the nigga we say as if it has no meaning. But to me, it means never ignorant getting goals accomplished. Nigga. Niggas, what are we gonna do? Walk blindly into a line or fight? Fight and die if we must, like niggas. End quote. These bars had a profound effect on me. I recall doing a show with my then rap partner Chance, better known as Tim Chance of PNC and Dragon Farm, and Digital Underground. I was talking to Shock G, aka Humpty Hump, in the green room backstage. I made sure to wear my Tupac hat that night. Yeah, I did have my Tupac hat on when I met Shock G. That's a fact. We opened up for Shock G, and I made sure to rock my Tupac hat that night. And I remember walking up to, so one of my fondest, and I talk about this in the book, one of my fondest memories is talking to him when I first saw him, grabbing his hand and saying, strictly for my niggas, and him replying, never ignorant getting goals accomplished. This man gave Tupac light and introduced him to the world. I'm talking about Shock G. I remember getting into an argument with my mom about the N-word. She has never approved of my use of it. She is repulsed by my song NGR. At the time of writing of the book, she did not like the song. I think since she read the book, she understands it now. But when I first let my mom hear the song NGR, because I have a music project to go along with this, she didn't like it. You know, my mom never liked the use of the N-word. But like I said, after reading my book, she's more enlightened. Let's put it like that. But at the time, she is repulsed by my song NGR and probably the entire NGR music project and this expose as a whole. Like I said, since she's read it, she's more enlightened now. So she's taking a different stance. She's not as repulsed. But facts, she was. Like I talk about the elders don't really like us using that N-word at all. I remember bringing up Tupac's acronym for nigga in a debate with my mom, and her not caring about the acronym or any cool spin we might be putting on the word. And I completely understand her position. Make no mistake about it, I love my mother, and even though we don't always see eye to eye on different things, I always respect her opinions. Some people have disdain for the N-word, and this expose causes me to pose another question. What is the elders' point of view of the N-word? So, should I continue on? Let's stop right there and talk a little bit. Let's build a little bit from that point where we were. So, I think that Tupac, in that chapter, in that section, I go in a little bit more about how the elders view the N-word, and our elders in our Black and Indigenous community, they really repulse the word. They really have a lot of disdain for it. And we all know that. We a lot of us in our community know our elders' point of view. They don't see, now some of them do, but many of them look at the word as a repulsive word and as something that we should bury, something that we should we should not use at all. But let's look at Tupac. Tupac was different. Tupac was from the hip hop generation. And you know, one thing about hip hop and people within hip hop culture, we're honest, we're truthful. We attack things head on. And you know, I think that Tupac early on, now I don't know if Tupac had knowledge of NGR, that the fact that NGR came from the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. You seeing what I'm saying? Tupac comes in on the palanquin being carried like an ancient Egyptian pharaoh. And he's the one that really turned nigga into something positive. N.i.g.g, never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. He was the first rapper to document and put a cool spin on the word. And if you think about it, a king, NGR means king. NGR means ruler. NGR, the title of my book, means monarch. One who is under divine authority. And Tupac, by calling it never ignorant, getting goals accomplished, a king is never ignorant. A king is getting goals accomplished. An emperor is never ignorant. You see? So, man, it's just so deep that this is the first video that Tupac ever came out on, and he's being carried like an Egyptian pharaoh, the nigga. You understand? So a lot of us don't understand, don't know, and that's the purpose for this platform, this channel, is to show you guys, to show everybody, you know, the origins of the N-word, so we can understand it better and we can control the narrative. Because like I said, knowledge is empowerment. People say knowledge is power, but I like to say knowledge is empowerment. The more knowledge that you possess, the more empowered you are about things and over those things. So the way that our people get upset whenever white supremacists or racists call us the N-word, right? Once you read my book, and I suggest everybody go over to Amazon right now. That's why I keep pulling it up. NGR, what does it mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective. All right? But when you get my book, now you can control the narrative. You know, nobody can ever control you with that word again when the white supremacists or the racist people throw that word out at you when you're not expecting, least expecting it, so that they could throw you off your square. Fam, you no longer can be thrown off your square because you are empowered through the knowledge and the information 360 degrees. You know all about the N-word, and once you know, the more you know, you know what I'm saying, G.I. Joe? I said knowing is half the battle. Right, that's what they used to say. So, knowing is half the battle. You know what I'm saying? So, the knowledge will empower you. So, join me, become empowered, and read my book, NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective by yours truly, author P.E. McCallum, better known as Pow Shadowz the General. Salute. Much love to each and every last one of you. And remember, spread love, not hate. And don't ever stop your hip step. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody slow you down. You know what I'm saying? Hip step over all your obstacles.